I can't help it if we have 2 or 3 people that get along and got the same idea. It may be reversed on the other side, but there's not a clique on my side. And it's been going around for a long time, and I pretty well stay quiet over here, but I got a bad side. I mean, I got a big old butt and I can show it. You understand what I'm saying? The council don't need to get in city business. We're just up here part-time. They're up here every day. They're supposed to feed us the information, and if it goes over their head where they need counseling, they come tell us. We don't need to get in the day-to-day fighting who's fired, who's hired, who's brought back. That's what we pay these people 6 figures for. So, like Will said, don't kill the messenger. Y'all people need to grow up. Not y'all people, but whoever's doing the problem. I got all these cartoons on my phone from these disc jockeys in different places begging to do this and telling me damn this and damn that. Is any of them here tonight?
He's looking my direction.
I wouldn't stand up to work.
Yeah, Mears. I don't know what got under his skin that night. Something bothered him, basically. Hair all over, a big old butt.
Yeah, something like that. More information than I need to know.
Let's talk about it, man. What do you think about what he was saying?
I mean, he said a couple things that were kind of silly. He mentioned one that they're like part-time and they don't do much. The city manager's supposed to do all that. Well, then why the hell did it take him like 9 months to get a new city manager or a year or whatever?
Yeah, he said that nobody drags him along, basically, and he can't help that 3 people get along and they view the issue the same way and the other 2 people don't or whatnot. From my perspective, may not be true. From my perspective, I think he goes with what everybody else says, basically, and he's not really present in the meetings. And yeah, and I know he's gonna see this, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Mears is not present. He's not involved in I know you talked about the community stuff a minute ago, but in general, when you look at a city council meeting, he's not aware. He's not aware of what's being discussed. When it's time for him to talk, it's my time to talk. Like if you're paying attention, you'll know when it's your time to talk.
Right. Let's take a look at it real quick again, because at the closing comment, this is what this was. It's James, Gunn, Hector, Wells, and then it's Mears. And Wells had just talked. We're going to look at it real quick again. He's looking over here like, whoa, what's going on? And she had just spoke. So, I mean, everybody in the meeting but him knows what was next. But here, let's play it real quick.
You ready, Dad? Oh. All right, girls and boys.
Like, it's like he didn't even know what was going next. I mean, like, I literally think he had just woke up. Like, I do. I genuinely think that. And people may think I'm just being sarcastic or being mean on purpose, but how else would he not understand it's his time to talk? Like, unless he just came to, or unless he was watching those cartoons on his phone that he was talking about. You know what I mean? They stuck in it across that bad where he's just, like, staring at his phone like, oh, I can't believe they're talking about it. I got ideas over here. My own ideas.
And he said, we're up here part-time. I didn't like that. And I think I spoke to you about that privately. We're up here part-time. We shouldn't be getting involved in a little squabble or whatnot. But when you're about your community or whatnot, you should be interested in what's going on. Whether or not you have a city manager or whatnot, you should still know what's going on and what the people are saying. It's as if he doesn't want to deal with it. It's like, look, let the city manager handle that, and if we need to vote on something, we'll vote on it. But I don't really want to hear the for him to say that. It's just like, you're not locked in, bro. You're not locked in. You don't care what's going on. You don't speak on when it's time for council meetings. You don't speak. You don't talk about what's going on in your ward. We don't know anything about your ward. Anytime the people come and speak in front of the council and share their opinions, it's to you and squabble and all of that. You just like, you don't care. That's the perspective I'm getting, and I'm sure other people would say the same thing. Something got under his skin, something pissed him off, so to speak, where he felt like he needed to defend that. I don't know what it was, but he came out of his character. And I know, Mears, you're gonna see this. Anytime I give my opinions, I always say, prove me wrong. Talk about what's going on in your ward more. Show that you care. Do more events, like that type of stuff. Get more involved, basically.
Right, like if he's saying that the city manager is supposed to be doing most of the stuff, well then what does he expect? And he says we're not really involved in it. Well then what does he think he's involved with? Like literally, he just comes up to the meetings and sits up there, and that's it. Like, he doesn't do anything in the ward. You don't hear about it or nothing. So, like, what value is he bringing that somebody else can't bring? It's the wrong attitude. He just kind of showed that he doesn't think he's supposed to be doing anything.
Ding, ding, ding.
Like anything. Right? That's silly.
Now we will have the city manager's report, and I'd like to welcome our new city manager, Mr. Carl Geffken.
Excuse me, Mayor, thank you so much. Council members, thank you very much for the approval and the opportunity to serve the city of Forest Park. I have over 35 years of experience, and I've got to say the welcome I've had here in Forest Park has by far been the best. And the interviews were very, I'm going to say wonderful, if interviews can be that way. I come from Arkansas, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and originally born and raised in New York City. So I've seen a lot, and I will be dedicated to making sure that mayor and council's directions and policies and priorities are implemented, that I listen not only to everyone up here, but to all of you sitting in the audience, not just residents, but employees as well, because that's important. Our employees are our greatest resource and asset. And I will have an open, please call. I do want to hear from you. If you have anything that's concerning, that's what we need to know. And so I just want to say thank you very much for the opportunity to have been appointed your city manager, and I will always strive to do my best by everyone here. Thank you. And the actual report is on the website. So, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, so my thoughts on it. Everything that he said, fair enough. Nothing to criticize about what he said. He said he's going to do his best. Give him that opportunity to do that. You know, I already have my opinions about background already, but he has a quote unquote first start to work with, and let's see what he can do. See if he can implement those changes that the city needs.
I mean, I'd like to see him do good.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
And here's our other Carl here.
Welcome, Mr. Geffken. I hope by the end of this evening you hadn't gotten to the point where you wonder what you did, but we don't have a very good record when it comes to longevity of city managers around here, but hopefully you will change that.
I mean, since the last 10 years, I think they've had like 5, maybe 6 city managers. So yeah, I mean, they don't make it very long at all.
I'm sick and tired of watching the news and seeing the city in negative light there. I have complained for a long time about the mismanagement of our HR department and the city council and the previous city manager, interim city manager, in regard to these employees and things. We've had Chief Chris was definitely treated wrong and abused, and then Director Matthews was allowed to get away with everything he wanted to, including complaint after complaint after complaint by employees. And we've lost one of the best employees that this city has ever seen sitting right here beside me because of him, that no good people wanted to work with him. And not only was he allowed to continue to operate in that manner, an abusive manner towards the employees, but he was covered up by the previous interim city manager and the HR director, and at least one council member, as according to the news, was told about this and was allowed to retire or quit so he can still draw his pension instead of being fired like he should have been. You don't wreck a city vehicle and get a DUI and get a pass. I'm sorry. It's just unacceptable. And everybody involved in allowing this needs to be terminated immediately, and the elected officials need to do the right thing and step down and save us from having any more embarrassments, because it's absolutely unacceptable for us to continue to have to deal with this.
Yeah, right there where the church is, that side street there by the gas station. I mean, that stuff's like a foot and a half high, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then meanwhile, the people are getting tickets for their personal grass. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like the actual main street looks like.
This is like, what is this like? Yeah, right here, like what, 12 inches. Up there, it gets over there. That's where I took the photo.
That's there. What I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, that gets up to like two
feet.
Yeah. But this is like a month and a half.
Easy.
Yeah.
And nobody's complained about it, but no code enforcement person. Mm-hmm. You know they come through here. Mm-hmm. They come down this stretch of road all the time. Yeah. And they've ignored it or chose not to worry about it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. You need to put your goats out there and let them eat on us or something. Get a contract with the city.
Right. Yeah, city Forest Park. Since you don't want to do it, let my goats come out there and do it for you. And they'll do a better job than what you're doing right now. Trust me. They're hungry and they'll eat all of that stuff up.
They haven't cut that in at least a month, it looks like. That's just wild. That's just wild to me.
The other thing Carl was saying is that the elected officials need to step down. Now, Zach and I have talked about this. What does Carl know? What does he know that he feels that he needs to take that position? Basically, he knows something, and he knows that things aren't the way that they should be. And they all come on. That's a bold statement. They all need to step down. That is a bold statement. So, for Mr. Carl, in case you're seeing this, or the citizens as well, I commend you for coming out and speaking up against the crowd, basically. It's not easy to put yourself out there and say the things that you're saying because you don't want to be viewed as a Nancy naysayer or whatnot. But for him to have the courage to come out there and say, this isn't right, my hat's off to him on that one. So keep doing what you're doing, Carl.
For us to take our city and start putting it on social media, you can imagine where they're going to go. It's going to go to a jury without a verdict. I was very disappointed. I asked the neighbors, most of you all seeing here, to come this evening so we can stand with Councilman Mears, stand with Councilman James, stand with Councilman Gunn, stand with Councilor Gutierrez, and stand with Council Ware, because we the people elected them. And at the end of the day, when I see a solution, I know my solution. I'll vote you out if I'm not pleased with what you're doing. I'm not going to use social media to attack you. There was a whole lot of things took place. I'm not going to talk on Director Matthew. I told him well wishes. I didn't know what happened, and I still don't know what happened. So it's not my place to put a verdict out. But we do have experts in this room that can put the verdict and give it to us fairly as taxpayers, because without us, you have no population. We're just tired of the pettiness. Every time we come in there to this council meeting, it is so petty. It's, I don't like you, I don't like you. We not collaborate to move our city forward. We don't even know what Jonesboro Road consists of. Jonesboro Road is Highway 54. Do the math. I'm watching the clock. We do not know what Old Dixie Road is. Do the math. I'm watching the clock. We do not know what Pine Ridge look like. Do the math. I'm watching the clock. On that point, we got people that look down, feel down, and some of them just slow down. So I yield my time.
So, yeah, she went off, but she talked about social media and it maybe bringing bad news or bad publicity to the city, but not social media that's originating that, right? The city and the employees and the elected officials who are doing these actions that make it noteworthy, make something to talk, give us something to talk about, as the song goes, right? Let's give them something to talk about. They're doing that on a regular basis. Like if it was nothing going on, nobody would be talking about them.
Exactly. Yeah, do better so we don't have to talk about it. But yeah, I agree with everything that she said. She's spot on with what she said, the pettiness, no collaboration and just not working together to move the city forward. It's like, I don't like you, you don't like me. We're gonna squabble basically. So the city needs to do better on that part. She's 100% right. We're not happy.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council, to our new city manager. Hopefully you're not like the interim city manager, do better at this job. Tonight, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to ask questions that the people of Forest Park deserve answers to. And I write my stuff down because I'm a preacher and I might go on the tangent and just keep going. So I want to make sure I get everything out. Not long ago, this council made one of the biggest employment decisions of the city history, and they terminated Chief Chris. We all know that. Throughout that entire process, they said that we had multiple public concerns. Then we had a appeals hearing where there was no multiple concerns that was actually founded. Those allegations were investigated, and from everything that they presented publicly, it was never proven that he was intentionally and violated policy, yet his career was still destroyed. Now let's talk about accountability. A department head was reportedly arrested for DUI while operating a city vehicle. That the individual remained employed for nearly 2 months before ultimately being allowed to resign. My question is, why? Why was one employee publicly investigated, publicly criticized, terminated, while another employee facing more serious public concerns that could have took somebody's life was allowed to remain employed and then leave on his own terms? If the standard is accountability, then it needs to apply equally. If the standard is integrity, it needs to apply equally. If the standard is for us to do things right, it needs to apply equally, because from where many citizens are standing, it appears that there are two different standards in City Hall. One standard for some people and another standard for everybody else. As long as you in the clique, you all right. I also want to remind everyone that not every member of this council supported terminating Chief Criss, but those who pushed hardest for his removal now owe this community an explanation of why they did not pursue that same level of accountability with that department head. The public deserves to know who made the decision to allow this department head to remain employed. Why wasn't disciplinary action done immediately? Why was resignation deemed acceptable here and termination was deemed acceptable for Chief Criss? What factors made these two situations so different that they produce completely different outcomes? Those are fair questions, because equal justice doesn't mean applying different rules depending on who someone is or who they're connected to. It means everyone should be held to the same standard. The citizens of Forest Park also have heard concerns from this department head, from employees, that he has scared employees and did all types of stuff. Was that investigated? Was that taken care of? Was these employees protected? And these are the people that work for you? Again, the people deserve answers. Public confidence in government is built on consistency, not favoritism. It's built on transparency and not silence. It is built on accountability and not selective accountability. So tonight, I'm calling on those that knew about this department head that you should resign your seat immediately because you have no integrity. Thank you for your time.
All drunk. Love it when he ended that like that. You have no accountability. And yeah, I like what Dwayne was saying. Me, I'm a simple guy. For the people at home that are watching, they're saying we're making the city look in a bad light. If what they're saying is true, if it's true, 100% true, you can't get mad at it. You cannot get mad at Dwayne for what he just said. The standards were not applied equally across the board, and people are looking at how you're handling it and just saying, "Yo, this isn't right." So hats off to Dwayne, man. He said what everybody else was thinking, and he's 100% right. Y'all got to do better.
Next, we got James talking about the Alton thing. They talk about the investigation. Now, we covered this, but this is a different video, so we're gonna touch on it again in case again you missed the council meeting, you wanted to see it again with some flavor added. So we're going to start with her.
As far as the items that I cannot speak about, I won't speak about, but what I can speak about, which has already been settled, is the fact that there was no public investigation of our former chief of police. It was private. It was not something that was done in the public. People put it in the public. Who put it in the public? I don't know, but people put it in the public. There was opportunity for resignation that they chose not to resign. As far as the other information, that is information that is lies that are put out. I'm not going to speak about it because our city attorney has advised us when we all found out on the same day. Every single one of us found out the information on the exact same day. There was no one knows something beforehand. And you can say it's a lie all you want to, but I know the facts. Okay? So, and again, I will not speak until I've been free to speak by our attorney and the things that they have to do to protect our city. But what you don't understand is when you get out there and you say stuff that you don't know of, you're not protecting our city. You are putting stuff out there that really gives the other entity that wants to sue our city information that will then can cause jeopardy to our city when the information is not true. It's not true. It is not true. And so when there's things that come up and someone is in the courts defending themselves or defaming names, then you will find out how true things are. And so with that said,
like she says she can't talk about it, but she talked about it for 5 minutes. That's what always kills me with that, man. They just can't help themselves.
Yeah, I have a comment on that. So I like James. I like Miss James. And I think that she has a problem with criticism or negative news or whatnot. And I think sometimes maybe she doesn't understand that people have their rights sometimes and to speak and be vocal about their opinions. And you can't be mad at somebody for just giving their opinion, whether you like it or not. It's their opinion. So if people are talking and they're saying this or they're saying that, That's their right. You don't have to like it. I don't like that about Miss James. I like her as a person, but sometimes I don't think that she takes criticism very well. Sometimes maybe take a little bit personal. I understand that you represent the city and you want the city to be portrayed in a good image and everything like that. So people will come and everything like that. But absolutely, you cannot take people's rights about speaking freely and giving their opinion as well and trying to limit them or curtail that. Like, we're just not going to talk about this over here. Everything is great. You know what I mean? You can't take that away from them. You got to be willing to take the good with the with the bad. So let people speak as freely as they want. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it, but it is their right to do so. So I just wanted to say that.
Well, the crazy is that you can get lost in the controversies of what she's talking about. You know what I mean? It's like she went from Chris to Alton, to Chris to Alton. And it's like, it's crazy because there's that many, again, controversies or things that they're talking about at the same time. They're not even spaced out. They're both here in the present. That strikes me right there.
Yeah, nonetheless, what she's saying is right. And see, if you leave it up to Mears now, right, with people complaining, Mears don't want to hear about the complaining. You know what I mean? And I will commend Wells for acknowledging that, like, if people are complaining, we need to address it. I think she's spot on with that one. She tells it like it is. And I'm not sure if I want to say this on camera or whatnot, but I tend to think that she is more for the people than anybody else there. Basically, I think that she deals with it like straight. This is what it is, and this is right, and this is wrong, basically. And she just talks it like it is.
It's available for you to tap into. And I agree with Wells too. We have dropped the ball. When things have taken place. We should be taking initiative to make sure that you guys have the basics: who, what, when, where, and why. And with further information, you guys wait for further information to be given to you. Now, what I'm going to say is, and I wanted Javon to basically come and talk to us, you guys. It is very important for our PR person to have a voice. He is the voice for this city, and for him not to be heard, that he to represent us, to get that information out, and all these other narratives take place. And it's hard when misinformation is put. Some information, some of it is clear, but some of it is just be way out there. And the first initiative or sound or tone that we hear, we run with that. And then when we got to come and present the truth, it's hard to tear down what you've already built up with these bricks, which are not all of the facts that are in alignment. But we have dropped the ball of not getting the information to you guys first.
What? Go for it.
What are they talking about? Like, what I'm hearing is you guys come rushing in and you come up with lies, and then when we come out with the truth, we gotta work so hard to tear down the lies that have been built, and you guys don't really know the truth and everything like that. Like, come on, man. It's like, we're not idiots up here. People aren't idiots. They can put two and two together here. So we're talking about two topics here in this. We're talking about Chief Chris and we're talking about Alton Matthews with the DUI, right? We all know the facts, right? It's out there, right? The news knows it. The residents know it. What do you mean it's not? We're talking about lies. You know what I mean? He got arrested for a DUI. It's public news. What lies is that there? I don't understand what you're talking about with that. He resigned and he got to keep his pension, and people are upset about that. What lies are we talking about there? Come on, like, we're not idiots. You know what I mean? I just don't like it when people do that.
That's what I was talking about. Performative. She's being performative.
Yeah.
And she's always.
We know. Yeah, we know the truth. Just look. Just be out there and just say, look, y'all saw the news. We're looking into it. When we look into it, we'll get back to you and present our final decision. But don't play us and play with us like you don't.
She don't know any difference. She don't know any difference. She's always performative. Like, she's never shooting you straight. Like, there's always an angle. She's always performative. Like, even in person, even if it's just you and her, she's always thinking of an angle or trying to do like more than just be present with you. You know what I mean? Like, there's a long game involved. And I think that's part of what her persona, and that's what she's doing now. It's a long game. Like you said, we all know what happened, but she's trying to act like we don't, and we don't know. We're probably, whatever we're probably thinking is not right, is what she's trying to tell us. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Don't play with us like that. You know what I mean? Don't play with us.
All right, off on to Mayor Gwen.
The only other comment I have is regarding that matter we're not going to talk about.
But we're going to talk about it.
Yes.
is that we understand your concerns.
And be assured that we are committed to conducting a thorough review of what happened, the events that followed the accident, so that we'll know, because we don't. We just found out when you guys found out, pretty much. So as soon as we can, we will conduct a thorough review of those matters and get some transparency, because we have questions to get answered as well.
That's what she said about that.
Fair. That is fair, right? I will accept that.
That really should have been the whole comment. Then we wouldn't have this whole last 30 minutes of this video talking about everything we talked about. You know what I mean? They all said they're not supposed to talk about it, but yet they all talked about it. She, again, said there needs to be an investigation, and then we can talk about it. And that's all that really needed to be said, but they just couldn't help themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I get heated on this, but they talked about the sound amplification permit, and they're trying to update that when they're already overreaching on it already. And it sounds like they're trying to be more limiting in what you can do and what you have to give them with the sound permit. And that's wrong. You already have to pay $30 for it. You know what I mean? I can go up there and not use a sound amplification and be as loud as I want, right? And I think I'm going to do that pretty soon, because y'all want to talk about these amplification permits and violate. You talk about accountability and transparency, but you don't show it, and you don't allow people to do what they're allowed to do. You try to limit people at every turn, whether it's the sound permit, whether it's what they can say in the public comments, in the speech, in the you created an open forum, and then you're going to try to tell people what they can say in there. You got it all wrong, and y'all don't really know the law. So I said I was going to give y'all a clinic before, and I did on a partial basis, but I feel like I need to go and give y'all a clinic again and let y'all have to find out what people can and can't do in a public forum. Anyway, I get heated over this stuff. Go for it.
So to what Zack is saying, Zack is 100% right. Zack and I come from two different worlds where we grew up very differently and everything like that, but we agree on a lot of topics basically. And that's what he just said right there. 100% agree with him on that. You have to let people speak freely. Can't be upset at people because they want to voice their opinions, especially in public. What are you? 5 years old, you don't want to hear what somebody has to say because it's going to hurt your feelings or whatnot. Get over it. He has the right, and everybody has the right to speak their mind, and you can't limit them. The sound permit, yeah, I was actually in the meeting and everything. Like, they're trying to put more restrictions on there. They want to know where you're going to do it, the time you're going to do it, all of that stuff, just to speak.
They even make you put down what equipment you're using, what sound equipment you're using, what speaker wattage you're using. Like, it's nuts, dude.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not how things should be done, basically. I don't think that should exist. People should be able to come in front of their government and speak their minds, basically, regardless of whether you have to, whether you like or not, basically. Seeing you guys, the police and you guys are comfortable with the way things are because they work for you. And anybody that comes up there that challenges that and say that, hey, this isn't working for the people, you guys have a problem with that. So what do you guys do? Let's try to find a way to limit them so we don't get pushed back. But you're in the public sector. You're working for the people, not the other way around. So let us speak openly and say whatever we want to say. So until I get more information, because the presentation was kind of fuzzy at certain points where they want to do a facelift on the city and apply, I think the presentation, brick facing, redo over the facing of the buildings on brand new brick and upgrade the landscaping and just try to make the city look more presentable. As long as they don't, how do I say this, penalize the owners of the property. As long as that it's not being done that way, then that's fine. I actually, me personally, this is just my opinion, guys, for the audience watching home. The city, it is, from talking to other people and just driving through, when you drive through the city, it is an older city. It looks like the buildings are from 1980 or 1970 or whatnot. They don't have a fresh coat of paint on them. The paint is faded. There's a lot of blight and stuff like that. Me personally, I think that the city, instead of spending $81 million on a police station and a rec center,
dude, that's gone up to I think I told you it's gone up to $111 million or something crazy. But go ahead, $111 million. That's crazy.
$111 million.
That's why they need that data center.
Right. Personally, I think they should take some of that 100 million or whatever and put that into Jonesboro Road, basically. I think the city needs to bet on itself. And what I mean by that is, all right, we're going to come to the owners of the building and say, look, we're going to spend the money, right, and upgrade the landscaping. We're going to spend the money and apply a fresh coat of paint on the buildings, basically, right? And this is an investment into our city to uplift the look of it, right? So it makes it more attractive to come in, because you have to think about, I always think about competition, basically. The surrounding cities there's a lot of them, but I think the city should take that $100 million and bet on itself, basically, and say, we're going to spend the money to upgrade the look, basically, and make ourselves more competitive with the other cities. Yes, the property values are going to go up because of this new look. Yes, technically the owners are benefiting from it, but as a whole, it would make the city look better. I do not think the $100 million needs to go into a police station. You know what I mean? Like, definitely not. Your job, most of the police work should be done outside the building anyway. So what do you need a brand new building for? You should be out patrolling. Spend that money upgrading the look of the city, upgrade the sidewalks, upgrade the landscaping, which they really should be doing anyway, but they don't. We talked about that earlier. Upgrade the landscaping, put some nicer flowers in, cut the hedging around it, make things more presentable. So when visitors come into the city, like, wow, this place is really up to date, basically, and I feel comfortable shopping here. That's just my opinion on it. Take the $100 million and pour that into Jonesboro Road. It's just going to be better long term. Don't take the $100 million and upgrade a rec center and a police station. That's like putting the horse before the cart, basically. You need people to feel like this is a good place to come. This is a good place to shop. It's safe, it's clean, and it's competitive. It is competitive with the other surrounding cities. We are not competitive. We are in 1980, 1970, right? And all the other cities are in 2026. That's just my 2 cents. Forest Park needs to be more competitive. Upgrade the roads a little bit. Put some of that $100 million into the roads. Make them a little bit cleaner. It seems so silly, but I noticed this. Like, you ever drive on the road and you notice that the paint on the divider is faded in certain, like, I don't know if you noticed that, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it, like you said, it looks like 20, 30 years old. Like, it hasn't changed since I've been around over there, man. I mean, I grew up with my grandmother. I spent so much time in Forest Park, lived in Forest Park, but it hasn't changed since I remember it back in the 90s. You know, I was born in the 80s. I don't remember much of it then. I went to school there, but I can remember what it was like in the 90s, and nothing's changed yet.
All right, here you go, guys. So we have reviewed the city council meeting from July 20th, 2026. We've reviewed all the council members' comments and as well as the city agenda. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you learned something new, and we hope to see you guys back on the next episode.